A boutique set of guitar strings can run $15 to $30. A standard set costs about $5. Here's what the marketing won't tell you. Strings are a commodity. Same core materials, same handful of factories behind dozens of labels. And those cheap standards sit on more hit records than most boutique packs ever will. We're counting down 10 affordable sets ranked by real-world performance, from bare minimum bulk packs up to the best value proposition in the industry. Number 3 goes spec-for-spec against $30 coated sets and wins on the math. Let's start at the bottom, number 10. In the 10th place, generic bulk 3-packs establish the baseline of what is usable on a guitar, averaging about $3 per set. These are no-frills, uncoated, nickel-plated steel strings wound over a standard steel core. There are no proprietary treatments, no liquid polymer coatings, and no complex metallurgical formulas here. This basic design serves a clear purpose, showing that an electric guitar can stay in tune and perform reliably for pennies. For practice instruments, bench testing, or players who burn through strings during heavy daily practice sessions, these sets offer raw utility without any premium markup. They perform exactly as expected for basic nickel-plated steel, proving that the entry-level floor of the market is entirely capable of getting the job done. Number 9. Fender-style house sets take the anonymous bargain formula and add a familiar shelf brand for around $5. These strings stay firmly in the standard nickel-plated steel lane, wound over a hexagonal steel core. The real appeal here is a bright, comfortable, classic feel that matches the baseline expectations of most electric players. Rather than representing a massive leap in metallurgical engineering, this option highlights branded budget identity, putting a highly recognizable logo on the packaging without the typical boutique pricing. In fact, industry sourcing reveals that these house brand strings are manufactured by D'Addario to Fender's exact specifications. For players who prefer an easy, familiar option from the local store shelf, these sets provide dependable utility and consistent performance for the price of a cup of coffee. In the 8th place, GHS Boomers have served as a reliable industry workhorse for decades, maintaining a price point of around $5 per set. Manufactured in Battle Creek, Michigan, these strings utilize standard round-wound nickel-plated steel wrapped tightly over a round steel core. While marketing materials historically highlight their signature dynamite alloy, metallurgical analysis confirms this is a standard high-quality nickel-plated steel formulation, rather than an exotic metal. The result is a punchy, bright response and dependable tension that working musicians have relied on for generations. By avoiding the premium mystique and high markup of boutique brands, these strings prove that a highly respected, stage-ready choice can remain an affordable, everyday staple. They offer consistent performance and practical durability without demanding a premium price. Number 7. Gibson Brite wires retail for around $6, offering a clear window into how the guitar string market actually operates. While marketed under a famous heritage brand, these strings do not represent a custom boutique metallurgy. Instead, persistent industry tracking and player analysis point to a shared manufacturing reality, with strong indications that these strings are produced under contract by D'Addario. This OEM relationship means that the nickel-plated steel wrap wire wound over the high-carbon hex core is fundamentally identical to standard commercial formulations, just packed in different branded sleeves. For the working guitarist, this highlights a critical truth. Buying strings by specific metal alloy and gauge is far more practical than chasing brand mystique. These strings deliver a bright, standard performance, serving as a reliable stage option while proving that high-end packaging often covers the very same commodity wire found on budget shelves. Number 6. Ernie Ball. Cobalt Slinkies represent the point where the actual metallurgy of the string becomes the core focus. Retailing for around $8 a set, these strings replace the traditional nickel-plated steel wrap wire with a cobalt alloy. From an engineering standpoint, cobalt is highly magnetic, meaning it interacts more strongly with the magnetic field of your guitar pickups. This stronger magnetic response produces a more powerful electrical signal, which translates to a noticeable boost in output and sharper upper mid-range clarity compared to standard nickel sets. This makes them particularly useful for players running heavy effects chains or high-gain amplifiers, where preserving top-end detail at the front of the signal chain helps maintain overall definition. The extra investment here goes directly into a measurable material upgrade rather than marketing hype or fancy packaging. While boutique-tier specialty strings often charge $15 to $20 for alternative alloys, this set provides a genuine metallurgical change for under $10. It gives working musicians a dependable high-output option without the premium price tag. In the fifth place, D'Addario Balanced Tension. XL strings shift the value conversation from high-output metallurgy to physical playability. Retailing at approximately $7 per set, these strings use mathematically optimized gauges to equalize the physical tension profile across all 6 strings. Standard electric sets often present uneven resistance, where certain strings feel stiff under the fingers, while others feel loose. By matching the actual pulling force required for each string to pitch, this design provides a uniform feel for bending, strumming, and picking. The underlying materials remain identical to the standard XL nickel-plated steel formulation, wound over a high-carbon steel hex core, keeping the familiar, reliable voice intact. The true benefit is in the physical engineering. Working guitarists who play long sets or demand precise setup logic benefit from this predictable resistance, reducing muscle strain. It shows that a premium, customized feel comes from design rather than boutique branding. Number 4. Ernie Ball. Regular Slinkies are perhaps the most recognizable green pack on the planet, retailing consistently between $5 and $6. While some players assume a stage-ready string requires a specialized liquid treatment or a $20 price tag, this set proves that standard nickel-plated steel wound over a hexagonal core remains an industry default for a reason. Manufactured in Coachella, California, using high-carbon steel wire sourced directly from the Mapes Mill in Tennessee, these strings offer a familiar, warm response that complements classic single-coil pickups particularly well. Decades of rock history and daily studio sessions have been tracked on this exact formula. The Slinky design does not rely on exotic alloys or protective polymer barriers. Instead, its value lies in predictable physical tension and direct magnetic pickup interaction. For touring musicians who swap strings after every single show, the math is simple. Regular Slinkies deliver the exact tactile snap and bright attack needed for a live performance, proving that a legendary professional-grade setup does not require a premium investment. Coming to the top 3, D'Addario's XS and XT series represent a direct, engineering-driven assault on the premium-coated string market, challenging the traditional pricing structure of $15 to $30 boutique sets. Historically, the coated string market has been dominated by a select few brands that charge a substantial premium for the added step of applying a protective barrier over the wrap wire. D'Addario bypasses this boutique markup by leveraging their massive, vertically integrated Farmingdale, New York facility, where they control the drawing, winding, and treatment processes in-house. To understand the practical value here, we have to look at how these two lines are engineered. The XT series utilizes a treated wrap wire, which protects the metal from sweat and humidity, while maintaining the textured, tactile feel of a traditional uncoated string. The XS series takes a different approach, wrapping the entire wound string in an ultra-thin polymer film to offer maximum protection and an incredibly smooth, low-friction surface. Both lines are wound over the company's proprietary high-carbon steel hex core, which significantly improves tensile strength and resistance to breakage under aggressive picking or heavy bending. The manufacturer claims these sets deliver roughly 4 times the life of standard uncoated strings. While real-world longevity depends heavily on your individual hand chemistry and the humidity of the stages you play, the physical logic of a polymer coating is sound. By blocking moisture, skin oils, and acid from settling into the microscopic crevices of the wrap wire, The coating keeps the string from developing the physical rust and debris buildup that deadens high-frequency vibration. The real giant killer aspect of this design comes down to the buying strategy. Purchased individually, these sets retail between $10 and $13. But when purchased in 3-pack configurations, the per-set cost can drop into the single-digit range. For a working player, the cost per playable hour math becomes highly compelling. If a standard $6 uncoated set loses its high-end clarity after 15 hours of heavy stage use, but a single-digit coated set remains bright and physically clean for 60 hours, you are spending less money per hour of play while saving significant time on maintenance. The critical takeaway for the pragmatic guitarist is that this extra investment provides durability and physical stability rather than a magical new class of tone. In fact, a brand new coated string often exhibits slightly less initial high-end zing than an uncoated set because the physical polymer layer dampens some of the raw metallic ring. The value is entirely in consistency. The string sounds the same on day 10 as it did on day 1. By stripping away the branding mystique and focusing purely on the chemistry and physical properties of the materials, these sets offer a direct spec-for-spec challenge to boutique strings at a fraction of the cost. Ultimately, your tone resides in your fingers, your pickups, and your amplifier, making string selection a matter of practical utility and personal feel rather than marketing hype. If you want to master your gear choices without paying the premium markup, subscribe to the channel for more forensic breakdowns. In second place, D'Addario NYXL strings represent a critical turning point, where paying a premium delivers scientifically measurable upgrades, rather than brand-focused marketing hype. At around $11 a set, these strings are priced slightly above standard workhorses, but they are built on a fundamentally different structural foundation. The core of the NYXL is made from high-carbon steel, processed and drawn in-house at D'Addario's Farmingdale, New York facility. This high-carbon core wire offers significantly greater tensile strength and resistance to breakage compared to standard low-carbon or stainless alloys. For the working player, this physical hardness translates directly to elite tuning stability. In standardized tests, these strings settle almost immediately after a single stretch, holding pitch under aggressive bending and heavy picking far better than standard uncoated sets. Beyond mechanical strength, the NYXL series delivers a distinct tonal signature that sets it apart from traditional nickel-plated strings. Standard nickel sets can sound somewhat flat, but spectral FFT analysis reveals that NYXL strings feature a documented presence bump centered precisely in the 1 kHz to 3.5 kHz range. This specific frequency band is the sweet spot for electric guitar definition, where note articulation cuts through a dense live mix or a complex studio track. This mid-range push results directly from the magnetic interaction between the high-carbon core and the pickup coils. While boutique brands charge $15 to $30 for sets that promise similar projection and longevity, NYXL delivers this elite level of stability and spectral response at a standard plus price point of around $11. The extra investment goes directly into structural engineering and material science. For gigging musicians who need their instruments to stay locked in tune under changing stage temperatures without sacrificing upper mid-range clarity, this set offers a professional, high-performance option that bridges the gap between budget standards and overpriced boutique offerings. And finally, in first place, D'Addario EXL 110 nickel wound strings represent the ultimate value ceiling for the working guitarist. Retailing consistently between $5 and $6 per set, this long-running industry standard is widely recognized as the single most recorded electric guitar string in the world. It serves as the default workhorse in elite recording studios and massive touring rigs alike, proving that the pro's everyday default is also the strongest cost-to-performance answer on the market. It establishes the practical baseline against which every premium rival must be measured. For a boutique string costing $15 to $30 to justify its price tag, it must prove a tangible, real-world advantage in longevity or physical stability over a set that is already highly trusted, affordable, and consistent. Under the magnifying glass, the engineering of the EXL 110 is remarkably straightforward. Standard nickel-plated steel wrap wire wound over a high carbon steel hexagonal core. This combination produces a bright, punchy, and balanced voice that responds naturally to your playing dynamics. D'Addario manufactures these strings entirely in-house at their Farmingdale, New York facility, controlling every step of the wire drawing and winding process to maintain tight physical tolerances without a premium markup. The lesson for the pragmatic player is clear. Guitar strings are fundamentally a commodity product, and paying 3 to 4 times more does not buy a magical new class of tone. Your acoustic and electric voice resides in your fingers, your instrument's pickups, and your amplifier. While specialized polymer coatings and exotic high-tensile alloys have their place for players with high acid hand chemistry or those using extreme alternate tunings, standard nickel-plated steel remains the sonic foundation of modern music. By focusing on material specifications, physical gauges, and your actual performance needs rather than chasing boutique branding, you can keep your guitars gig-ready for a fraction of the cost. Subscribe to the channel for more forensic gear breakdowns. Across all 10 entries, one truth emerges. Your tone lives in your hands, your pickups, and your amplifier, not a luxury label. Premium pricing buys you durability and specialized coatings, but the core metallurgy remains virtually identical. When you buy by raw material and specification rather than marketing hype, you master your gear and your budget. Subscribe for more forensic gear analysis.